This video, we're off to Turkey to pick up our Nordhavn. We visit the Dana Point Nordhavn offices in California on the way, and I have a go at learning to fly a drone and video. Not very good. Have a great interview with Jim Leishman. Enjoy. So here I am with Jim Leishman at Nordhavn HQ in Dana Point.
Yeah, great to have you here. And have you been here before?
Yep.
Dana Point? Yeah, you were here kind of back when you signed the contract? Or?
No, well before that. I came here in 2019 just to look at a Nordhavn, and it was just a gorgeous 52 that was owned by a chap in France.
Okay.
That was for sale, and I thought, that's my dream boat. I never thought one day we'd be about to pick up a brand new 51.
That was before the 51 was even conceived,
yep.
Right? Yeah, so that's quite a while ago.
Yeah, so we feel pretty lucky, Jim.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you as our number one buyer.
Yeah.
And, there's been some challenges. The boat's been late, but I think everybody's pretty happy right now. It's just, we're on the home stretch and the quality level of the boat. In fact, we were talking about it earlier, just got the final results back from our inclining experiment, which showed the vertical center of gravity to be exactly where we had hoped it would be. Mm. And I have to say, probably it might be the first boat, or certainly it's got the best flotation. The boat is sitting, right exactly on her lines. When she's full of fuel and water and provisions, she'll be just down perfect. There's no ballast required for the fore and aft trim, and I don't even think for the athwartship trim. And the stability numbers that allows us to meet the Category A requirements have come in. We just got them yesterday. Finally, we're figured out after inclining the boat. We came in with a 7% reserve.
Wow.
So we've got plenty of reserve stability, and it's a good, solid Category A, not on the fringes, but rock solid in both, the departure condition, which is always a full boat. That's easiest where the vertical center of gravity is lower. And then, of course, in the arrival condition, too, when you've burned off all that fuel. So it couldn't be better from that standpoint.
So I was going to ask Jim a few questions, because I know a lot of the people out there that watch the videos will be interested in this. And I thought I'd start off with asking you, Jim, what was the initial dream with setting up Nordhavn?
It basically started with cruising sailboats back in the mid-70s. Our company was... Dan and I were together from 1974, and in 1978 we incorporated PAE into the company it is now, which basically was Dan Streech, myself, and a third partner, Joe Meglin. Joe has retired actually 20 years ago. So we were committed to being in the boat business, and actually in 1978 we had come along through brokerage, and we had been involved in numerous Asian-built cruising sailboats that we were bringing in and selling retail, but involved a lot of heavy commissioning, engine installations, and doing things which were kind of required back in those early days of the Taiwan boats. The boats had some real strong features, the woodwork and the styling and the value and so forth, but they were weak in areas like engine installations and standing rigging and electrical and so forth. So we recognized the good points of those boats, took advantage of that, but deleted engines, deleted standing rigging, spars and so forth, and did that work here. And it ended up being pretty good business. We ran for quite a few years with good success. In one boat in particular, a 49-foot boat called the Transpat 49. And towards the end of the 70s, we decided that was not our brand. That was a fellow by the name of Inels Ives was building over in Taiwan, and it was his brand, and we wanted to develop our own brand. So we had had some experience with Al Mason Designs, and really liked the look of his boats and the styling of the design. And so we actually went to him and we asked him to come out of retirement and design a 43-foot boat for us, which was the Mason 43. And that, long story short, we ended up developing a relationship with a yard called Tashing in Taiwan. And the first Mason 43 was completed in June of 1979. And that went on to be very successful. We evolved into numerous other models. Al Mason designed a 53 for us, then a 63, and ultimately a 33. And those boats had a good production run. I think all total of the Mason sailboats, I think we built about 250 boats.
Wow.
But as we got towards the end of the 80s, we had a lot of experience by then with the type of people that were buying our boats and the success that they were having with going off and cruising them. And we were all pretty young at that point, and we're committed to the business that we were in. We were just perceiving a decline in that cruising sailboat market during the 70s and 80s. The whole dream of cruising off the South Pacific was kind of oversold. It was such a romantic concept to get on a sailboat and head off into the tropics and so forth. It was hugely appealing to a real broad base of people, but the actuality was that a lot of those people, particularly people who were buying our own boats, because they were expensive boats, they were new boats. So typically it was people of retirement age that had the money and the time to go pursue this. And even though they could buy the boat and they had their health, they didn't have a lifetime of experience to call up on operating a sailboat.
Yeah, I think you read it right, because Fiona and I would be the classic of that.
Yeah.
In the late 50s, early 60s,
Yeah.
no sailing experience, and that would just be too daunting. And I know I couldn't take Fiona along on that journey. Whereas what we're doing now, it feels manageable.
It is. So let's just design this perfect powerboat that we've always dreamed about. And Jeff got a hold of the book Voyaging Under Power. We both read through that, and as the design progressed, he incorporated all the ratios and recommendations and issues with regard to stability and how to stabilize the boat that were set forth in that book, Robert Beebe, which was written in the early 70s. It's based on experience that he had between about 1963 and about 1970 with a boat called Passage Maker. So anyway, we finished up this design, or he finished the design, and we kind of leaked it to a couple of the magazines. There was some editorial on it, and the phone just started ringing off the hook. There was people that kind of could see that had appeal and were interested in it, and it just kind of took off from there. It was slow getting started because a lot of people didn't understand the boat, and it was limited in its speed, but it caught hold with people. And took a while, but became quite successful. And then it evolved into the full line of Nordhavn. The second boat we did was a 63-footer, or actually 62, which is the aft wheelhouse. It's kind of styled after a Romsdal trawler.
That's a big jump, isn't it?
It was a big jump, and then that was followed by the 57, and then the 50, and then we did the 40, I believe, came next. And that was a boat we built right in Fullerton, California, right here in California. We built 45 of those boats here. And then the 43, and then the 47, and on and on.
Yeah.
So we're still introducing new boats now and have stuff in the works for going into the future. And you're buying the latest, the newest design to be launched, which is the 51.
51, yeah. And why PAE? I guess it's Pacific this side and Asia, is it?
Yeah, it was. We had to come up with a name, and we were dealing with a Taiwan company at that time, and we thought, we were looking for a name, and Pacific Asian Enterprises sounded kind of official and big, and that's what we went with. So
we're not going to start a Pacific Atlantic Enterprises now that you're across the Atlantic?
No, we'll stick
Too late for that.
With P. I don't think a lot of people don't even know Pacific Asian. Some people don't even really recognize PAE. We're coming down to really recognize just as Nordhavn for the most part. But PAE is the mother company. So.
Yeah. And what do you think the future holds?
Well, we've been coming here every day since 1974, and
you were 24? Yeah.
No, I was 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Dan's about 7 years older than I am, so he was 25 or so. But yeah, you look back on the things we did, and we had no wealthy parents. We had no source of. We ended up generating some income through brokerage sales and plowed that back into the company, and then kind of built it up on our own. So it's the future. Well, we have some really talented people at PAE, people that have been here since the beginning. We've got Dave Harlow that's been here since 1980 or so. We've got Larry Gieselman been here since that time, or actually a little bit before. We've got people that are basically running the company, or being groomed to run the company, that started off as teenagers on the docks for us, 30 years ago.
Wow.
So we have a real good band of people from in their 30s up through their early 50s that are, we've got a lot more ahead of them.
Yep.
And so I think Dan and I are going to hang in, and Jeff too. Jeff's younger, Jeff's 5 years younger than I am. But basically, the new people in the company will slowly begin to take more of a role in running it, which they're doing now. And we're always kind of astonished that a lot of things that we thought that only Dan or Jeff and I could do, that aren't people that are doing it now are probably doing a better job than we did or could do. So
and there's obviously a strong family involvement
both
as well.
My sons work for the company.
Pretty exciting, isn't it?
Dan's daughter is very active in the company, and his son-in-law, and my brother Jeff, both his sons are working in the company, and so we've got a really good group of people working for PAE that will carry it on, hopefully long after we step aside.
Yeah, well, certainly from the outside, it comes across as a very strong family company, and very friendly, welcoming, and you almost get the sense of joining the family. It
is. I mean, we a lot of us take vacations together, and we have a new boat. It's not new. It's a Nordhavn 57. It's 23 years old that Dan and Jeff and I own, and we've got it down in Mexico. And we've been, getting people in the company to go and help out with the boat, experience it, and be on it. So we have a real good relationship with our people. Very, very few people have ever left PAE.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, I just mentioned a few of them, but there are so many people. Like Garrett Severin, who's running our office in Florida, he was on the docks right out of high school. And he's in his early 40s now, so he's just getting into that range where the most productive part of his life, and he's running our Florida, our Palm Beach office, and will be taking an even greater role in running the entire East Coast of marketing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's truly international company, isn't it? I've met the team in Nordhavn, Europe, Phil and Neil, Jenny Stern on the East Coast, up in New York, is it?
Yes. Well, we have 3 additional offices in North America. One in Anacortes, Washington, which is run by Devin Zwick. He's our manager up there. And then we have our headquarters here in Dana Point, which we have retail salespeople here and we're commissioning and so forth. But we have Palm Beach, which I just mentioned, Garrett Severin's running that. And then Jenny is pretty much running our Northeast office, which is up just near Newport, Rhode Island. And we have salespeople up there. But additionally, she's our marketing kind of manager. She works with Doug Harlow, and he was a kind of a graphic designer. And he evolved into video at our request. I could see this, years ago, that video was going to play a bigger and bigger role in our marketing. So I asked Doug to, start getting involved with it. And he didn't really have any experience. So he got a camera and got some equipment. And I just watched the latest video again last night. It's kind of he's got some real talent, and those videos are terrific. And they're playing an enormous role in the success of Nordhavn. I think those videos, and possibly even more so, the contribution of customer videos, the adventures that they've had, and stuff like what you're doing, and so it's that's why we came up with the Nordhavn Film Festival, kind of to encourage people to do more films, to acknowledge them and reward them a little bit. But selfishly, it's those are great videos that will live on the internet forever.
Yep.
And people are still going back to. We did a video on our around the world trip in 2001, 2002. I had one camera. It was just a Super 8 camera, and I left it on board. So I took video, and people that did various legs were asked to take video using the same camera. And when we got back, I took that video footage, so a couple hours. James and I put it into a simple little video. And it's still watched today. It's got hundreds of thousands of hits on it. And it's kind of crude and everything, but the video is a huge part of our marketing, and I think will continue to be that way.
Oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
Jim. So I got some quick fire questions for you, just to finish off. What's your favourite Nordhavn?
Oh boy, the 51.
Good answer. Today, anyway. Yeah.
Well, I have a fondness for the smaller boats, so I really like the boats, 60 and below, and I love the old 40, which we had 2 of them. We took one around the world. Gosh, if I had to own one myself, it was going to be totally my boat. Probably, truly, it would be maybe the 55 or maybe a 51. It's got enough room in it to be where you can spend weeks on it or months on it or indefinitely on it and be completely comfortable, not feel like you're camping out, yet it's easy to operate. If you get into a 65-foot boat or 70-foot boat, then it's a little more challenging to operate.
Well, 51, you'd have to be number 15 in the queue now. I think the big thing about the smaller boats is they can truly be managed by just the 2 people that own it. Ma and Pa, it's their dream, they can go out there and do it. You get much bigger than that, you kind of start needing.
You might find yourself in a spot where you got to move the boat just by yourself, and you can do it on a 51-foot boat with a little advanced planning.
That's cool. So where's the favourite place to go in the Nordhavn for you?
Well, I have a real fondness for the Pacific Northwest. I like Southeast Alaska. I like the kind of the inclement weather, but you do have spectacular weather in the summer, but you might have rain. The infinite number of anchorages and fjords and beautiful places to go. You can spend your whole lifetime up there and still not see it all.
Yeah.
You never have to go to the same place twice. You're all operating for the most part in protected water, which is nice. Anybody can go up there and enjoy cruising because you're not subject to ocean swells, and there's always something scenic to look at. So I really love that. We're down in Mexico now, down in Loreto, Port Escondido with a boat. And that's pretty spectacular with the warm water and the fantastic fishing. And if I could only go to Southeast Alaska and Baja for the rest of my life, I'd be quite content. Yeah, I'd be all right.
This is an easy one. What's your most memorable voyage? That many, huh?
Well, maybe it would have to be the Atlantic trip where we escorted all the boats. That was hugely rewarding. It went off like clockwork. Good.
What's your favourite food?
Well, we were talking about it the other day. I'd like to tell you that I'm a fish fanatic. I'll eat fish. I like it, but my freezer would be full of steaks and prime rib.
Okay, and what's your favourite pastime?
Believe it or not, it is boating.
Are you a beer or wine man?
I'm primarily beer, but I'm okay with some wine.
Okay. And what's your favourite movie?
The High and the Mighty.
Oh. Okay.
You're a pilot, so you should. You've seen that,
Yeah,
John Wayne and Flight Across the Pacific.
Yeah.
It's a great. I love
it.
I've probably watched it. I don't know how many times I've watched it, but
I might just go and watch that again.
it's really good.
Yeah. Hey, well, thanks, Jim.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We've enjoyed our visit here, and thanks for your time to have a chat. And well, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there will be really interested in your comments.
Yeah. Well, it's my pleasure. Thanks.
Cool. Okay. So this is a pretty cool office. Jeff, it's kind of where it all starts, isn't it?
This is pretty much the desk that started it all right here. Same drafting machine before computers.
Wow.
Yeah, and
All your
all of these are the old drawings that we did back in the day on Mylar,
Oh my goodness.
ink. Yeah.
All hand drawn, eh?
Yes, all hand drawn. This is the 50 and the 40 or 64.
So what, just when did you go from hand drawing to computer based?
Kind of a slow transition, probably in the late 1990s, or early 2000s. We were getting more into computers, and everybody in the office had a computer for Word documents and Excel. But we started drafting them, just doing title blocks for the most part, and some of the tedious stuff. I had probably in 10 years ago, I stopped altogether on the drawing board and everything on the computer.
We don't want this picture to start any vicious rumours, do we? Is that the 40 on the wall there, or the?
That is the,
or the 43.
43.
That's the 43.
Yeah. 43.
It's that classic Nordhavn look, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Jeff, so you'd be pretty excited to see your latest baby go in the water.
Yes, sir. Be over in Turkey in a couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be great, hey?
It'd be fun to sea trial it.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, that's the exciting part when you finally get them finished.
I reckon.
When they float perfectly and you don't have
Yeah, you don't have to
That's right, hey? Yeah, that's the,
raise the boot stripe.
the nerves are over now.
That's
Oh,
right.
thanks, Jeff. It's great to see you where you work, where all the work's done.
Yeah, we were rolling it over.
Oh, is this where Drew lives?
Hey.
This is the man they chase all the time, eh?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Hey? This is where all those phone calls and FaceTime
FaceTime phone
comes
calls.
into.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't get one of those, Drew.
What?
The beanie.
Oh. Those are for special.
Oh, you've got to be really special, do you? Over 60 feet.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's
hey?
60 plus, you get a
Oh,
beanie.
60 plus you get a beanie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That'll
And this
get
is
you
Eric.
some.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim's son, one of the sales reps here, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good to meet you guys.
Pleasure. Thanks for
Yeah,
listening.
excellent. Where's James?
He just got back in late last night, so he should be here
Yeah.
anytime. Yeah.
Should be here anytime.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you, eh? So this place was an old restaurant, which is amazing, and the guys worked out of here. They absolutely loved it. And used to come to the restaurant here, I guess, and then it came up for sale. So in true Nordhavn style, they took the challenge on, and it's now the Nordhavn offices with a fantastic outlook on the marina. Hopefully you see one of these models in a shape of a 51 soon, in a nice cabinet. You know, she's a pretty big operation. And not a bad place to work, eh? Check that out. We'll get the drone up soon and we'll get some nice footage of the building and the marina with the entranceway. Okay, so this is my first go at using a drone and videoing from it. So clearly I have all the wrong settings, clearly I don't have the technique, but I'm going to publish it anyway. I'm not proud, and it's a record of where I started. So just remember what this looks like, and it'll get an awful lot better from here, I promise. So these are the offices at Dana Point. Nordhavn's just got a beautiful setup here, and the marina that surrounds them is just amazing. Hundreds and hundreds of boats. I mean, the whole marina looked pretty good to me, but they're going through a process now of completely revamping it. Amazing restaurants all around it. We went to a couple of them. Really, really nice, good cafe for coffee. And obviously this is pretty much a staging point for Nordhavn's coming into and out of the west coast of the USA. And there were 4, maybe even 5 Nordhavn's based here, a 63, a couple of 60s, looked like a couple of 52s, but certainly a nice part of the States with a pretty rich history. So if you're heading over to Europe, pick up a Nordhavn, then well worth stopping in here, meeting the team and checking this area out. It is very, very nice. Rained most of the time we were here, unfortunately. Pretty heavy too, actually. Normally beautiful weather down here, but anyway, didn't deter us. We had a great time here and were made to feel very, very welcome. Now, coming up here, I just about crashed the drone. I'm pretty sure this is the spot where it happened. Lost sight of it, even though it's got a... Whoa, there we go, straight past the palm... Whoa, another palm tree. That was pretty close, and managed to stop, which is always a good idea when you're in trouble and you're flying. That's if you can stop, of course. And from here, wasn't quite sure what to do. Pretty sure I have a go at descending. I might just move away a little bit, I think. But bit of a disaster, as you can see. So, here we go. Yep, we're coming down and have a last look at the beautiful gardens by the offices. And, well, I managed to land it, didn't do too much damage. Anyway, in the next video, Renee our daughter visits us from London and she decides she is going to demonstrate to me how to do YouTube videos. And this is a typical Ramel expedition off to the Bosphorus boat show. Started with a bit of chaos. Mark wasn't quite sure what he was looking at, but hey, we had a great time.